Let's do a little game.
What?
A little game. I give you one word, and you speak about what comes to mind, but you have only between 30 seconds and 1 minute.
That's what, you give me one word and I should develop the word.
But for 30 seconds to 1 minute.
Yeah.
Short. And I will give you many
Okay.
words. Intelligence.
Intelligence by definition, intelligence by manifestation, intelligence as a use or abuse. Intelligence briefly means adjusting to the best to the existing conditions of a human being. It can be defined in many ways, psychology and so on. Manifestation, an intelligent person is very compassionate. An intelligent person is reaching out, especially is very helpful. Intelligent person cares. And abuse and abuse, well, the Nazi, the things in Afghanistan, it is by intelligent people done. And by use, inventing the penicillin, inventing medical instruments, and caring and sharing your achievements with others.
Opportunity.
Opportunity is a situation which offers you something what you don't find normally in regular circumstances. But now how you use the opportunity is important. We have to respond to it. And if you are responding well, this will be appreciated. If you responded negatively, it will be disappointing.
Culture.
Culture is a result of human actions, both materially and spiritually. But humans are also a result of the culture.
Equality.
Equality, mathematics is 2 equals 2. However, in social terms, it will be that everybody is the same. Everybody is equal, has equal rights, but also we forget should have responsibilities. And unfortunately, equality doesn't guarantee justice. Equality doesn't guarantee, let's say, happiness. Communists wanted to build an egalitarian society. What happened? You had the apparatura, the people on the leading, even to the dictatorship proletariat, and you had the workers, the working masses. Or in capitalists, you have the boss and the others, okay?
Confrontation.
Oh, this is a word which is absolutely an index in American language. You don't confront. But confrontation means face to face. And again, if you go by the gospel, what is Jesus saying? If you have a problem with somebody, confront, talk to the person. If you cannot solve it, go to the community. Okay? And if you cannot solve it, go to the church or be alien to him. Means confront. It's a fantastic way of solving problems and also of bringing matters into a real light.
Success.
No, success can be, it depends on who concerns what. For instance, somebody can have a success to win lottery. Somebody else can have a success to be win a competition in music. Some other can build up a career in law and succeed in collecting a lot of money. Success doesn't equal with happiness. If this equals, that you are the most happy person. But success it cannot be measured in material terms. It has to be measured in other terms, mainly in human satisfaction.
Failure.
Failure. Well, again, we say in our culture, if you succeed, you are the master of the success. If you fail, it's your fault. I have doubts about it. Both are results of your action, no doubt, but in connection with the environment in which you are. For instance, before you fail and somebody sees the way you're going, he says, don't go into this because you fall into the ditch. How many people will see things, situation dangerous? They do the same like we had in the presentation of the Good Samaritan. They walk away because they don't want to go to court to be witnesses, or they don't want to be bothered, okay? That's exactly what I mean.
Nature.
Nature. It's the surrounding reality in which we live. We usually have life, nature, and dead nature, yes? I think it's, for me, a manifestation of the greatest intelligence of the Creator. For me, looking at a tree, I can see the whole process from the seed through using the tree as a musical instrument or a furniture, or replanting the seeds for another. I see the complexity. For instance, the water, which normally would never go up, but due to osmosis goes from deep in the ground to 100 feet high and so on. I see like a miracle, and I see the big mind behind it. Respecting nature and learning from nature, we can avoid many mistakes in life.
Nurture.
Nurture, well, we apply it to education, upbringing. It is what society provides, what parents provide, what the institutions around the educational provide, and we nurture nature. A tree, to grow, is not only it's planted, but it needs from the soil the water, it needs from the air, okay? It needs the sun and so other, and this is all elements provided for the growth of the individual nurture.
Community.
Well, there's a saying, where two or three come in my name, there I am. It's a community. It means, again, in social sciences, numerically more than two people, okay? But it should be extended to the interaction of many people, bounded by a shared culture, bounded by a, I would say, to put it idealistic, by a mutually respectful relationship, by a creating a supportive system, which is usually evidenced in institutions, okay? Because humans are social beings, and they cannot be on their own, okay? Your self-telephone or your car doesn't make you self-sufficient, okay? And it's interesting that many people who don't have good relationship or relationship with others, more and more become alienated, and the number of growing suicides in America, especially among young people, indicates that we are losing the sense of community.
Simplicity.
Simplicity. It's something which can be applied to very fundamental elements, not developed. And it can be also expressed in way of behavior, it can be way of thinking, of expressing, it can be of communicating. So it has a meaning, multiple meaning, depending on the application.
Challenge.
Challenge, it is like a call to react. And wake up is a call to get up, challenge. And you can either ignore it and you fall asleep again, or you go out, dress, put cold water on your face and start the day after saying a short prayer, very positive and effective. And if you take the challenge of waking up, well, the opposite can happen, okay? Challenge can be also of changing or improving things, behavior, challenge of inventing. It's a wake-up call.
Pain.
Well, we are as human psychosomatic creatures. And when we look at the body, they will have physical pain. But the physical pain, well, we often killed by what? By using a lot of painkillers. And American society is one of the most consuming painkillers. We have clinics and so on. Certainly pain obstructs many things. But there's not only physical pain, they call it spiritual pain. Being a psychosomatic being, we have a spiritual dimension. And we should explore the spiritual dimension, the relationship with the often, I would say, certainly existing, but not definable, highest intelligent creator, okay? With God. And I think all these elements, science, medicine, and let's put it, prayer, can help us in all the situations. And there are many even clinics who implement, or even universities.
Forgiveness.
How many times should I forgive? There was a question we could see in the scriptures. And the response was 77 times. Christians pray, forgive us our sins as we forgive our trespass. What does it mean? That virtually nobody is perfect. By forgiving, you also restore a relationship. And I think, again, Christians have a wonderful story about the prodigal son. This guy was using his parent and so on. The parent could throw him out forever. He came back, forgave him, and received him because he enjoyed finding the lost sheep, okay? Now, unfortunately, in some directions we have tooth for tooth, and sometimes war for war. Yes, we have to be, let's say, strong in defending our values, our dignity and so on, but we cannot keep a negative attitude towards anybody forever. And we can see how it works in many parts of the world for centuries. And how nowadays, for instance, we can see that in the 20th century, which was indicated as a time of peace and harmony, became the most, let's say, conflictive. And therefore, for instance, the interview which I mentioned by the German Minister of Foreign Affairs gives us an indication that even some politicians understand that forgiveness is an important element not only of individual life, but social and international affairs.
Peace and war.
Well, there's a famous book by Tolstoy, Peace and War.
War and Peace.
And if you don't want to spend hours on reading it, but there are on YouTube movie editions, and I would recommend it because it's an absolutely fantastic analysis of peace and war. Now, peace can be in various dimensions. Peace between nations, can be war between nations. Peace between communities, war between communities, and peace between individuals and before, and among. And a friend of mine, Dr. Goldberg, always said, Charles, you want to solve everything scientifically, especially the matter of conflict. He said, look at the story, Cain and Abel, brothers. What happened? Envy. One was successful, the other not. the other giving the offer to God was accepted, the other rejected. What happened? One killed the other. And this repeats in history, unfortunately, so much and creates scenes of peace and of war.
Generosity.
It's a wonderful saying, not what you take, what you give away, this you are possessing, this you are owning. And again, if you look into history, for instance, Rockefeller, of course, for different reasons creating the foundations, okay, are not only known here for hospital other, but for the grants given to scientists, okay, and to students and to others. The Ford car is not anymore the most popular in the world, and you can go into the statistics. But what is important, as I said, what you give away in individual life, it is not buying friends, but sharing. And shared joy multiplies. And shared sorrow diminishes.
Age.
Well, normally we say, hey, what year were you born? And then according to this you calculate, well, you're over 100 years old. We classify people for jobs according to the age. We for selling alcohol or cigarettes according to the age, and so on. Yes and no in regard to implementing the term of age, especially when it comes to a person. And there is a saying, there are three categories of age applied to a person. One is according to the birth certificate, okay? The other one is according to how people perceive you. You can be young and behave like an old person. And you can be old and behave like a young person. For instance, I was playing sake actively and until I was 65. And still when I was asked later on to write a book about aging, I said, me? I'm not, that's not me. And I was saying, gosh, I'm already over 70. How come? And often I don't believe when I go to the statistic age that I'm in this category, okay? Because the third is how you perceive yourself. Of course, the self-perception is important, but in all of this is also how is your health. And often again, when we are healthy, we think the whole world belongs to us. When we are in trouble, we are in trouble, okay?